we want to, okay, that's the other terms in Mandarin, but I refer to 学问.
Ah, sure.
So 学问, if you want to translate it to English, you have to learn how to ask question. Why Chinese use this word to represent knowledge? Because the more you ask, the more you gain or learn. So hopefully with this session, I want to make this session more engaging, and hopefully everyone can bring some useful knowledge after this session, instead of, oh, since this is a crowd society, I don't know whether it's compulsory, but your friend asks you to join, then you just join without gaining anything back after this session. Yeah.
Yeah, just open your mic. Don't have to be shy. If you don't want to open your camera, it's okay. Just open your mic and ask.
So Javier, your name is your English name or Christian name, or you feel that this is something very how should I say, grammar name, and then you just pick this name for yourself?
No, my parents pick it for me. It's in my IC.
Oh, I see. So this name is there is for at least near to 20 years?
Excuse me again?
So this name is there for almost 20 years?
Yeah, 21. Almost 21, not yet.
Okay, okay, SaaS in a way, in advanced technology, like us love to do this movie like Captain America, Iron Man, all this. So who's Xavier, right? Who's Xavier
in what?
Iron Man.
Iron Man, I only know Jarvis though.
Yeah. So whenever I see him, I connect to Jarvis in Iron Man.
Okay.
In short, Jarvis is something related to what we are talking today. It's about AI. It's about analytics. Yeah. It's about IR 4.0.
Yeah, IR 4.0. It's been a topic I'm interested in for so long. That's why actually my president told me, she said that if you are interested in this, then you hold a talk for this. So I do. So yeah, finally.
Okay.
So, thank you, Nicole.
It is like your friend here are quite engaging. Javier is our captain IEM. Here's the registration form. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right.
For those who haven't filled in, yeah. Okay. I would love to be.
Well, seems like we have about 40 students now.
40 already. Oh, 52 though.
Wow.
You can click on the, how do we call the row? The first row, the row above our, our webcam. And you'll see the participants. You can look at that. 53.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. It's a big crowd, 53.
Oh, I me myself don't expect this much actually.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And now it's 3:14, so I think we'll start with a little bit. Okay. First, let me introduce about. Wait, is my mic working?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I saw a notice about it's not working. Okay. SSSS is an analytics company that has experience in this field for around 40 years, right? If not mistaken. And it's actually a multinational company. So, yes, if not mistaken, founded in United States, if I don't take it wrong. So anyway, so here's our speaker, Mr. Ko and Mr. Kevin Go. So Mr. Ko is the Principal Training Advisor with Education Department in SAS Institute, Malaysia. He works with the clients across industry in various industries such as financial service, telecommunication, government, and even higher education. And also he worked with clients from Vietnam on gathering requirement and ensure appropriate education and enablement service offered by SAS. And Mr. Ko also helped lead SAS academic program in SAS Malaysia, provides consultancy to academia who wants to gain analytical skills, build courses, create degree programs, grant certificates, and network with other SAS users. And recently, he is appointed by Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC, as the Digital Expert Panel, DCP, in data science in order to provide industry inputs, recommendation, and approval related to digital tech talent skills development in Malaysia. And while Mr. Goh, he is a PhD student undertaking his postgraduate study in UTM, and his research topic is related to the development of AI-powered maintenance system in the manufacturing industry. And he is also awarded by the CREST R&D grant. If not mistaken, CREST is Cooperative Research Engineering Science. And what's the T again? I forgot.
Technology.
Technology Research and Development grant to develop the system to commercialize it in the future with two industry collaborators, which is SAS and DF Automation. So first, I want to thank both of the speakers to take this effort to give this talk. So without further ado, let's start with the talk. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Javier. I'm going to start the session first, in order not to disturb the student during the talk, I'm going to turn off my camera during my session. So let me turn off and then share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Oh, okay. So first, I would like to thank Javier or this club IEM, the Swinburne Sarawak student session, for inviting us to give our talk on this topic: how to prepare yourself for Industrial Revolution 4.0 as an engineer. And today, together with me is Kelvin Goh, who is a PhD student from UTM and also founder of InsideX. So before I go into this topic, I hope, like what I mentioned, I hope this session will be something meaningful and engaging to everyone. And I hope that although you may be in year 1 or year 2 or even year 3, I hope after this session you have a new idea what is IR 4.0 and what are the things that you should also get ready for yourself in order for you to graduate and find a job related to Industrial 4.0. Let's move to the agenda that we prepare for this session today. And this 4 topic will be jointly presented by me and also Kelvin. So first, since this topic is about IR 4.0, of course, we will give some introduction about what is IR 4.0, followed by the growth of data analytics in IR 4.0. The reason why we're focusing about data analytics in this session is probably Javier mentioned a bit in the introduction. SAS is a company that very focused into analytics since 40 years ago. That's why we will spend a lot of time talking about data analytics or artificial intelligence throughout this session. And subsequently, we are going to have Kelvin or Kaiwan to talk a bit more about some real use case of data analytics in manufacturing company. And why Kelvin is invited for this session is I get to know him, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago from some student competition. And throughout the journey, he actually make use of data analytic technology or knowledge and applying into manufacturing industry. And more importantly, he is like someone like you. He is actually a student from mechatronic engineering. Yeah, something from what Javier and Jiawei study now, but he is doing something both of you. And the last thing is we are going to talk a bit more about what are the skill set required for data analytics. Okay, as I mentioned, feel free to ask any question, whether it's throughout the chat or stop me and ask me if you want. Okay, this is the key topic for this session, but I understand from Javier that most of you actually learned or heard a bit about IR 4.0. So I'm not going to explain in detail like your lecturers what is IR 4.0, the history of IR 4.0, what are the component or the key technology in IR 4.0. But anyhow, I'm going to share some key important so-called information on IR 4.0. These are something that easily you can find from the web. It's not something new that I want to teach or share today, but more importantly, I want to bring some different perspective. Okay, first is IR 4.0 is not something relevant or important for engineering or manufacturing sector. It will affect the entire society. The entire society is not just about smart factory or high tech company. Eventually, when IR 4.0 is here, it will affect everyone like us. Today, you may have heard there are this thing called autonomous car. What does it mean to us? As a student, what does autonomous car to us? Are we going to, I mean, lay back and no need to learn to get our driving license in the future? What is the advantage of having an autonomous car? So these are the questions that we always need to think. What is the impact for IR 4.0 when it's already happening here? And of course, for this particular slide, I want to highlight some keywords for you to remember and understand. So as you can see here, okay, let me bring in my laser pointer. These are the key important when we are in IR 4.0. And this is something that SAS is focusing into, intelligence and information. And for this session, whether it's for myself or Kelvin, we will share a bit more about the use cases of big data, IoT, and cloud. So these are the keywords I hope everyone should remember or at least understand a bit more. These are the key factors when it comes to IR 4.0. Whether you are in manufacturing or whether today you want to join other industry like telecommunication or even join a bank or insurance company. The other keyword that I want to learn or make sure that you learn and bring back is this word called digital transformation. I think Javier did mention that earlier you have a session on digital transformation. On digital transformation, it's not about turning everything into apps. It also cover a lot of things like new process, how to bring the new process into digital. So these are the things that I think everyone should also to embrace and to understand. And the last thing is 5G. 5G, I think since you are engineering student, 5G is something that you should be very excited. I think compared to my time as a student 20 years ago, I think my internet speed to us to now is very, very slow. It's less than 1 Mbps. And today, I think average you have at least 30 Mbps. And when 5G is here, it will be at least 70 times faster than current 4G speed. What does it mean? Before I think we are not going to have this kind of face-to-face or virtual learning session via this kind of Microsoft Teams or even Zoom. But imagine today, when 5G is here, the speed is 70 times faster. What does it mean? The example that I mentioned just now, autonomous car, it will come easily. It will come easily. But let's wait until that there. So we want to know what are the technology, what are the things that we should be prepared and get ready when this 5G. But more importantly, these are the things that drive society towards IR 4.0. Okay, the next slide, again, it's not something common to you. I hope so. And this slide is something that, again, commonly available in web when you Google what is the key pillar or technology when it comes to IR 4.0. However, for today's session, since me and Calvin, I'm from SAS, he's working something related to SAS, we would like to focus a bit more on big data analytics, cloud, Internet of Things, and the last one will be something I think very exciting for you, augmented reality. So without further ado, I will move to the other slide a bit more on the role of data analytics in IR 4.0. May I know up to this session, is there any question that you want to ask?
Actually, no question for me, but I think I have a new perspective on IR 4.0 already.
Okay, all right. So let me move into what are the role of data analytics in IR 4.0. Okay, As Javier mentioned, I'm from SAS. I'm not sure how many of you understand or heard a bit more about SAS beyond we are a software company that help people to analyze data. But anyhow, I prepared a few slides on a bit more on SAS. So SAS is something that not normal to most of people back in many years ago. Back in many years ago, when there's no buzzword like big data analytics or AI, SAS already began to do data analytics since 40 years ago. And SAS is something very, close to university. Why I say so? Because SAS Institute began over 40 years ago with a group of professors from a university called NC State in US. They keep asking, is there a better way to analyze data? Back in 40 years ago, I think Microsoft Excel may not be there. If you want to analyze data, the only way is you may need to go back to very low level of programming language to analyze data. You may need to code to analyze data. So our founder, Dr. Jim Goodnight, who was a professor back in, I think, more than 40 years ago, he and his colleague or student decided to work on a new software for this purpose. They want to find a better way to analyze data. And since then, the software became popular and the company was incorporated on 1976. So up to now, we are in this business for more than 40 years. Even in Malaysia, we are here since 1986. I don't know any of you was born in 1986. Yeah, so even in Malaysia, we are here since, I think, for about 35 years already in Malaysia, focusing on analytic innovation. Okay, the next one, a bit more about SAS. So our vision statement here at SAS is to provide us our daily inspiration for what we do on a daily basis. We want to transform a world of data into a world of intelligence. Javier, I think since you're the most engaging one, I want to ask you, I don't know whether as an engineering student, whether you have any first or introduction subject about introduction to information technology. Back in my time, I think 20 years ago, whether you are engineering student or whether you are a business student, you may have a subject called Introduction to IT. So that time, we were introduced the terms data and information, and now we have a new word of intelligence. JP, do you want to try what's the difference between data and information?
Data and information, they sound the same to me, but but I think information. I was about to say information maybe like wait. I think information is something on a paper, but data is something analyzed from it. Is it?
Okay, to us or to people who are in this data analytic or AI, okay, data is not meaningful when you look at the data. Data could be a lot of row and columns from Excel file or from a text file. It will not help you to tell a story. So to us, when you are turning this messy data into a piece of information, then it tells you something. But now we want to do a bit more. We want to turn this information into something we call intelligent. And from this intelligence, people like you, people like the big company there, the CEO out there, or maybe your vice president, your vice chancellor can make a better decision. Whether like next week, should every student go back to campus and go back to the physical class. So data does not tell any story. Data does not give you something for you to make a decision, but information and now intelligence are something able to help you to make better decisions. So this is something that what data analytics is able to provide to everyone. And this is something that SAS is focusing on. So yeah, I hope today you know what's the difference between data and information, and now people talk about intelligence today. It's okay. At least today you learn a new word. But let me go a bit more. Yeah. So like Javier mentioned, we are a multinational company. Worldwide, we have more than 84,000 customers throughout 140 countries. It means that almost every country in the world, we have customers using our software. And something we are very proud to share with you is every year, SaaS actually invests around 26% of our revenue go back into research and development, because we are someone that into analytics for longest time, and we want to make sure that we will come out the best analytic solution to help our customer. And the last piece of information, worldwide we have about 14,000 employees throughout the world, including Malaysia. Okay, next one. Okay, okay, since I only know Javier and Jawei, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jawei, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have
Sure.
you heard about Fortune Global 1000?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, after this session, you can go there. So basically here, this Fortune 1000 are actually the 1000 largest American company ranked by revenue. Revenue means how much this company make in a year. So in short, Fortune 1000 company are the largest company in US. So what we are trying to tell you here is almost all the big company out there are SaaS customer. Why I show this slide to you? What does it mean to student like you? Okay, let's say one day you graduate, you want to find a job. What type of company you want to apply? Do you want to work with a big company or small company? What type of company you prefer?
I think I would prefer smaller companies, get more experience first.
Why?
Because from what I heard from my seniors and my parents, they said like if you go for a big company, it's like if you're working in that department, you only do the things in that department. But you're working in a small company that is growing, and you get to involve in other department as well. So you'll gain more skill.
Wow. Okay, I think
That's what
I
heard.
This is something I heard quite different from most of the feedback I got. Okay, I mean generally, whether it's our parents or your lecturers, they always want I mean their kid or children or student to find a better job after they are graduate. And generally, big company normally they are able to provide you better salary. I'm not saying
exactly.
JBL, your choice is not the right one, but of course, joining a smaller company may give you different type of exposure, especially something that like what you mentioned, whereby you can gain more experience in different area instead of one specific area. But generally, this is something that I want to share. If a student like you who would like to gain more salary after you graduate, you may want to consider those big company. And since this session is about the skill set or what you should prepare, then maybe you should watch up even from today onward. Try to plan what type of company, what type of engineer, what type of staff they want to hire, and from there you may want to start to prepare yourself. So this is something that I want to share. Okay, next one. Okay, IR 4.0, as I mentioned, is not just focusing in manufacturing, but since most of you are engineering students, I want to give some perspective or sharing how SaaS or how analytics can apply in manufacturing. So this is SaaS vision in manufacturing to empower manufacturing leaders with most trusted analytics. Okay, although this sentence sounds very, I mean, the scope is very wide, very huge. But I will go into a bit more detail when come to my next few slides so that you can have a better understanding what does this mean. And here, again, I'm not going to talk about all these customer, how many % are using our software, that kind of thing. But This is something we do. This is something considered SaaS track record in manufacturing. And if you want to know who are the manufacturing company in the world that use SaaS, maybe to name a few, I think Western Digital is something that you should familiar. And then Honda, the car manufacturer, is also SaaS customer. And then Nestle, I think everyone should know Nestle. They manufacture so many type of products. So these are the few names that from manufacturing who are using analytic in their work. Okay, I think this slide will be something more meaningful for you to have an idea how analytic or SaaS can apply in manufacturing. Let me talk a bit more about this slide. So today, CEO or leaders from manufacturing, they are very visionary. They want to do more. They want to do better in their business. So they want to come up a more efficient method to produce and move physical work while thinking beyond productivity, cost saving, and risk reduction. I'm not sure up to year 2 or year 3 whether you learn some topic about maintenance, all those things, because when it comes to manufacturing, maintenance is always about increasing cost. Maintenance is about productivity. So ethic will be definitely help them to look into this space, how to reduce cost, how to improve productivity, how to minimize risk. For example, I think today we are from I think most of you are like me, working from home or studying from home. If you want to go out, you may need to buy a lot of face masks. So let's say today you are a face mask manufacturer, you may want to think, how can you improve your productivity? Not just improving your productivity, you have to make sure that your product has certain quality so that customer will still buy from you. So these are the things that as a manufacturer, these are the two aspects that you always want to think. Of course, you also want to make sure that how you can reduce the cost so that as a boss or as an owner of the company, you can make more money. And this is for current and future survival will also require manufacturer to become nimble, AI-driven organization that minimize risk and seize opportunity through deep operation insight and confident decision making. So the next thing, like I mentioned now, is decision making. So once you have the data, once you have the info, you should make a good decision based on the information that you got throughout, whether it's from a visualization or from a model. So these are the things that good leader they are trying to do now. And manufacturing analytic solution from SaaS enable you to tune production operation for minimal cost and risk, while turning the data as an asset that help you deliver innovative services and quality product possible only in the connected economy. Okay, the other words that I want to share to you is, have you heard what is the new oil in this century? You know, oil is very valuable, oil is very expensive. But the new oil in this century, when everyone talk about digital or connected economy, they always refer to data. Data is actually the new oil. Once you can make sense of data, you can actually make more money. So this is something that people always talk about. Whether you're in manufacturing or whether you are from banks, data is the new oil. If you can make sense of data, then you are doing better than any one of your competitor. So the last thing that I want to talk is SaaS. From the track record, we always deliver proven value and we help manufacturing to unlock the potential throughout your digital transformation. Okay, I think these 3 words or 3 key topics is something that you're familiar or you saw just now from the 9 pillars of IR 4.0. So from SaaS, these are the key things that SaaS is focusing when it comes to helping manufacturing company, whether it's into AI or cloud or IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. So these are the key pillars that SaaS focusing when it comes to providing our solution into analytics. And the last slide will talk a bit more our platform, whereby this platform encapsulates the entire analytic life cycle. So this whole thing here, we call it as analytic life cycle. It's from data discovery up to deployment. And underlying here, we make use of our technology from data management, visualization, machine learning, computer vision, NLP, natural language processing, forecasting and optimization. And in the end, we are going to deploy the entire solution and provide decision support for the leader to make better decision. So these are the technology that we have. And when it comes to AI, like I mentioned, the new buzzword of machine learning, computer vision, NLP, forecasting is something that whether you are engineering student, whether you are com science student, or even business student, is something that you should also try to understand a bit. What are these things about? How can this thing help your future career, or how can this thing apply in your work later? Okay, the last slide before I think I bring in Kelvin to share a bit about his story and the use case. I want to use a simple example that I had with Xavier. So Xavier,
Yeah.
I'm going to pass this session to Kelvin after this slide. But since yesterday we talked, since yesterday we talked about this photo session, right?
Section.
And then
Yeah,
I asked you when or what is the best time in order to catch the largest cloud. So I'm asking you. I'm asking you the data. Why I'm asking you this data, so that we can make a better decision. So this is something that everyone should try to cultivate. A lot of people also know that the data is there, but they just ignore it. So by having data, then we can help us to do a better decision. So this is something just like want to tell to everyone, whether now as a student or as a someone like me who work in a company, or someone like Kelvin who is a postgraduate student. So a lot of time we should rely on data so that we can make a better decision. And in corporate, SaaS actually help them to operationalize the analytic decision making. So this is something that I want to share before I bring in Kelvin. Is there any question you want to ask before we stop for a while for photo session?
Yes. Any question, everyone? But I think for me, I don't have much question because most of these are inputs and quite clear as well.
Okay.
For me, yeah.
So let me pause my screen so that we can have a quick photo session before I bring in Kelvin.
Yeah. Let's start with our photo session. Okay.
Hang on.
Sure, take your time. I'm actually trying to get something like together mode.
Oh, okay. So Kelvin, you have to smile.
Right, now it's only 4 of us. Anyone else open their camera? Let's take just a quick one, just a few minutes. It's not even a minute, like.
We have a very good crowd. We have more than 60 students.
Hello, yeah.
I think this is a good event. Wow, we have people
6 of us
in the car.
I think I can change the scenes to 50 people, so it won't be that obvious. So you don't have to be shy.
Yeah.
This can fit in 50 people. Yeah. Let me find. I think this looks okay. Yeah, more people can come in. We can still accommodate 41 people.
Wow.
Yes, you guys can see the.
It has been quite some time I did not speak to a big crowd like this. I think last year I went to Sunway University. I think they were about 40 students.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see more than 60 students here. Hi everyone.
You know, it's 83 participants now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, 83. Yeah, I did. Yesterday I told you like 20 to 40, right? Yeah. So come on, guys, let's take a picture. Just a quick one. Laptop, no camera. Okay.
Let's do it now.
Yeah, I understand.
Let's do it now. Yeah.
Huh? Okay, let's do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, one. Okay, 1, Wait, someone coming. 1, 2, 3. And again, let me pass the picture.
Okay, let me continue.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's continue. How do I switch off this? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
All right.
continue.
Okay. Yeah, I think you see Kelvin in the video just now. So even I think Javier also did some introduction about Kaiwan or Kelvin, but I want to say a few words before I bring in here. So probably you know Kelvin is a postgraduate student, and then he is a founder of InsideX. But to me, his journey is not that easy. Although what you see seems very grammar, I think his journey is challenging. But to him, I think it's meaningful. He could be a very smart or intelligent student, but I think beyond that, he has the right attitude to pursue this journey of his dream. And throughout this journey, I think about 2 years, I think he's facing many challenges, very many difficulty or obstacles. But I think he know what he want to achieve. So he's determined to learn and overcome all these hurdles. He is like any one of you. He's an engineering student from mechanical engineering. To him, back in 2 3 years ago, data analytic or even SaaS, AI, cloud, what else? AR, all this, all this is something new to him. All these are something not he can study from the books or from his lecturer, but he managed to turn all these things into what he's doing today. And personally, he is someone that I think make SaaS and Malaysia proud. And his journey is something worth for every one of you to learn. I'm not saying every one of you should learn from him to do a postgraduate study or start own company to do something like what he does. But his journey is something worth for you to learn. Yeah. So without further ado, let me bring you Kelvin, and then he should share his personal experience. Kelvin, please.
Yeah. So hi everyone. Yeah, thank you very much, Cole, for the introduction. I'm not very intelligent. In fact, I can say I'm not the best student in my batch, but I'm lucky to have the help and support from SARS, CRES, a lot of parties along my journey, and that's why I've been here. Yeah, thank you very much to all the support from them. Yeah, so for my side, actually, I will go in slightly deeper on how I get to know SARS and my journey during my university years until now on implementing AI in the manufacturing industry. So, Mr. Ko, can you help me go to the next slide? Yeah, so basically, it all started from a data analytic challenge during my third year. It's called the Great Lab, hosted by CRES. I'm not sure whether any of you guys have heard it before. But actually, this competition is in which we as students, we participate, we accept real industrial problem from the industry to try to solve it and solve their problem or either improve their operations. So in my cases, actually, I received an industry problem from DF Automation. It's a company that manufactures automated guided vehicle. Is the kind of robots in Alibaba or Amazon warehouse that can transport goods automatically without human control. So the industry problem they provide to us is how can we improve the operations of the AGV when it's moving, carrying goods around the warehouse. So actually they give us 1 gig of CSV data to look into. Yeah, you can imagine how big is the data because inside is all rows and columns of numbers and characters. There are no movies or videos inside that make it so big. It's all characters that make it so big, and it's actually a 6 months worth of data inside. And that is the time I panic. Like, oh, how am I going to analyze so big of data? Like, it's infinite rows. There are thousands, millions of rows inside. So there's a time where I start to learn how to use the program software like SPSS, RStudio, R programming, and also SAS to analyze and try to identify the correlations between all the machines and sensor parameters. So luckily, in the end, we found a proposal for DF, which is to reduce the turning of the robots when they are turning, they should take curved turn instead of 90-degree turns. And we proved that they can actually optimize the battery consumption up to 30% by implementing this method into their operation of AGV. There are another two suggestion or proposal we give to them, but due to time constraint, I will skip that. So fortunately, with our proposal, we won the competitions, which is a huge encouragement towards my journey in data analytics. So after this, we decided to join IMDC Malaysia, which is the Innova Malaysia Design Challenge. I'm not sure whether you guys heard of it before, but this is the time we want to build machine learning models to identify the fault automatically from the robots itself. So before that, we do a pilot study on the motor operations because AGV and fan both has motor. That's why we choose to go on with fan first, which is more easily accessible. And we actually simulated the dust that caused the load of the motor to increase and checking how this will affect the operations of the fan's motor. Then we built models on top of it to identify when the load is increasing. And from there, we built a simulated AGV, which is the orange color one, the second one, as you can see in the slide, and implement one we learned from the fan study to put it on the AGV itself. Again, due to time constraint, I cannot address all the faults that we built for this particular model, but basically there are 6 key faults that we use to detect with this particular model. And on the same time, we also developed an augmented reality app to guide the engineers in troubleshooting the robot as well as performing the maintenance action. Because during our industrial visit that time, before when we joining the competitions, we found that the maintenance process of the current industry, in the plastic manufacturing industry, in the machine assembly industry, or in the F&B, food and beverage industry, the maintenance process is often carrying out in a trial and error process. I can give an example. So let's say if the robot stopped moving, then the technician will go and replace the motor. If it still doesn't work, cannot go back to operation, then they will continue on replacing the motor driver. And the process goes on. Just keep on replacing the part until the robot come back alive. But imagine how many parts, maybe the motor is no problem, but they just switch it and throw it away. How many parts is being wasted in this process? So this inspires us to actually come up with a system that can utilize data analytics to predict and also to identify what is the fault that is going to happen for these particular machines. And then we pair up with an AR app that can guide the technicians in finding where is the faulty parts and fix it so that we can improve the overall maintenance process and reduce downtime. And we also develop an industrial level of AGV, as you can see, which is the fabricated AGV, the last one. I haven't introduced the turtle board. Yeah, then we move on to turtle board first. We put the same system, but we implement for the turtle board itself and simulate the fault so that this is a demo kit that we can bring around and present to the industry players about the concept and collect feedback also. And then we also develop an industrial level of AGV with the help of Intel and SAS, which is the last image, to implement the proof of concept and present to EDF Automation and thus establish a joint collaboration with them to develop this system for the AGV to apply on field. So yeah, so Mr. Koh, can I go to the next slide? Yeah, so basically this is our journey. On 2017, we joined the UTM IoT competitions with the robot. Then we joined Great Lab. Then further on, going to IMDC. Yeah, Mr. Koh, can I go to the next slide? Yeah, and then during my graduations, after my graduation, I invited by Mr. Koh to join their local forum of SAS to present the system to the customer itself. And then we collect quite a lot of constructive feedback on how can we improve more on the system and whether there is a market needs for this particular system, which is quite positive feedback that we get, which after this, I go to work because of the positive feedback and they tell us how potential this product can be and how much they need them. Even though when I off to work in Singapore, Micron, I still very concerned about these projects. And this is where the time SAS and Crescent come and find me whether I want to continue on this. If I want to continue on this, I can go and apply for their research and R&D grant, which I continue my postgraduate study, but at the same time trying to commercialize the research work that I do for the industry players. So here is 2019. There's that time we are collaborating with SAS and Intel. Mr. Cole, can I go to next slide? Yeah, thank you. Luckily, we actually get the grant from CREST, and the total amount of it is 575,000. And during that time, we have collaborators from UTM, SAS, DF Automations, and CREST. And we also presented the ideas to the previous Deputy Minister of the METI, Dr. Ong Kian Ming. Yeah, Mr. Go, can I go to next slide? Then after this, with SAS help, we actually successfully go to participate their global forum on 2019, which is held in Texas, US, where we presented our work with all the data analytics experts and all the industry players that are interested in using SAS. And surprisingly, I thought our work is still a bit, like after university, still proof of concept, but surprisingly, they are quite impressed. I still remember one of the IoT leaders of SAS, he actually tell me they have contacts with air conditioner manufacturers, and when they see us doing the AR stuff, it's actually under the road plan of the air conditioners manufacturers in their 3 years road plan. So basically, they are only going to do the AR. They visualize they will do the AR on the 3rd year, but they saw us already done it on top of our current prototype. Although, of course, this is still very preliminary stage, it's still a bit of university work compared to the industrial work. Yeah. So yeah, Mr. Go, can I go to next slide? Yeah, so there's a time I continue my postgraduate study, but at the same time started out InsightX, which is a company that our vision is to provide solutions to industry players to convert data into values for them. So the first image you can see is actually we present our system to palm oil plantations, which is Kulim Berhad. Then the second one is we presented our work in DF, and actually there's a RTM shooting being done at DF concerning our work. Then the third image is actually we present the work with Flextronics, and the fourth image is we presented our work to the conveyors. And actually this effort brought us until today, which is a potential commercializations. And then on the fourth image is we present to the CEO of Medivest. They are for implementing the system into their HVAC system for the hospital. And then the last image is actually we collaborate with the help of SAS and CREST also. We collaborate with Alcon to try to use SAS and data analytics to solve one of their production yield issue problem. They are actually a contact lens manufacturer. Yeah. And then during this time, we have collaborators from UTN, SAS, DF, CREST. Module is the manufacturers, and Nextcom is one of a Taiwan industrial PC provider, which is an expert in IoT. Yeah, Mr. Ko, can I go to next slide? Yeah, so I would like to share two of my case study here, how data analytics can be implemented into the real machines applications. So first one is the AGV industry, which we use the AI and AR to predict potential fault and to schedule maintenance accordingly. Yeah, Mr. Can I go to the next slide? Yeah, thank you. So can you help me to play the video? I think you just need to click once, then I think the video will play.
Maybe you can try request control. Can you see?
Let's see. Okay, let me try. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So basically, this is one of the illustrations of how this system works for the one we presented to DF lah. So one of the fault we are simulating here is the uneven distribution of load on top of the AGV. As you can see, I'm putting the box near to the left side of the AGV. So this is actually a problem after we found out in the real industry environment. So actually, we are going to one of the site collaborator side of the DF, we found that there is 6 robots being deployed there and keep on having the problem on the left side where the motor actually spoiled, but the right side motor is still okay. Then we go and browse through data, we found, okay, so actually the load is being distributed unevenly on top of them. And that's why we implement this into our system so that this can help DF in the future to troubleshoot what is happening to their robot, and they don't need to send engineers all the way to the place to try and do case study on top of that, which will take a lot of time. Because downtime is actually calculated in seconds in the real industry. It can cost per seconds, the loss can be 100, can be 1,000, can be 10,000, can be millions, depending on the production size of the company. So in order to, if we can minimize the loss via downtime by minimizing the downtime, that is the best. So that's why we have this system. And yeah, as you can see, when the load is being distributed unevenly, we will tell the users, okay, the robot is actually a bit tilted to the left and more stress is being stressed upon the left motor. Please look into this so that the left motor remaining useful lifespan will be conserved. So yeah, Mr. Koh, can I move to the next slide?
Okay, I want to add a bit more.
Sure.
I'm not sure everyone can see what is this video about. What are the green thing and this thing that you show here. So for those who are new into this, the green thing is something that you can see from AR, augmented reality. And what Kelvin has done is he come up with this AR, and of course, I don't know whether everyone can see a warning message here. This warning message actually tell you this is the potential error or faulty from this robot. So this is something that after Kelvin apply machine learning into this system, and then by using the application of AR and turns this so-called maintenance easier for everyone instead of change everything within this so-called robot. Yeah, so this is something that I think to me is very exciting, whereby he can actually apply most of the technology within IR 4.0 into something like what you see now.
He's like implementing IR 4.0 already.
You are right. You are right. Yeah, and I don't know whether all this knowledge is something that Javier or Jawed you are going to learn, since you are from mechanical and the other one is from electrical. But to me, I know that all this is something that Kelvin learned by his own because of this project.
Yeah. I don't think we get to learn this in university as well. This is something like.
But you can learn from Kelvin now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, next slide.
Yeah, so basically the overall system will have data visualizations where sensors inside these AGVs will be collected and sent to a cloud database, and there will be a dashboard reading, real-time dashboard reading through this database, show that all the sensor parameters on top of it, and then also predictions. Predictions come from the machine learning models that we generated. We built to identify the faults and predict the remaining useful lifetime of the critical components. So yeah, when there is, let's say motor have problem or it's going to fail, we predict it's going to fail in another 3 days, there will be an alert message sent to their SMS or email, and then it will be shown on the dashboard also. And then this is the time where the technicians will look into the faulty message and go to do fault diagnosis. So they will just put their phone or use the AR glasses to look at the particular AGV. Then they will see, oh, okay, so this is the part that has problem. I need to open this compartment, take out this motor, and try to put in slightly a new motor. Then I can take this motor to go and repair. Then yeah, this is the usage of the AR maintenance, where he just one glance he can know where is the problem and go to fix it immediately. Yeah, Mr. Goh, can I go to the next slide? So the second case study I want to share is on the conveyor side, which is with module to predict the potential failure and schedule maintenance also. Yeah, okay. So this is roughly what the conveyor is look like. It's widely used in a lot of industry like Nestle, like Nestle that also work with SaaS. They also have this conveyor to move all their food and beverage stuff along the automation chain. So, Mr. Goh, can I go to the next slide? And then this is the can say the module box that we designed for them, in which inside there is sensors, connectors, and also the industrial PC to collect all the informations. Yeah, Mr. Ho, can I go to next slide? Then actually I want to ask you guys opinions on what are the key components of conveyor you think that will have problem, but so it seems my animation didn't pass through, so the answer already come out. Yeah, so basically after discussing with the industry itself, the three key parts of the conveyor that is easily spoiled, and when it's spoiled it will cause a breakdown immediately, is the gearbox, sprocket, and also the chain itself. So that's why Mr. Cole, can I go to next slide? That's why we designed this system in which we collect the sensors data from the inverter. Inverter provides power and also speed and frequency of the conveyor, while vibration sensors we were mounting on the motor itself, which we can collect the vibration and also the temperature of the motor. Then Bosch SDK is actually a remote IoT ready sensors which we put on top of the gearbox to collect the vibration of the gearbox and also the noise of the gearbox generated from a gearbox. And all this data will be sent to industrial PC, where we will pre-process the data and then send to the cloud database. Make it clean, then we send to cloud database. And the cloud database will link to the SaaS cloud analytics, where we build the models with SaaS there, and then we can come up with predictions on which parts it's going to fail and when it will fail. And lastly, we'll go to the visualizations in terms of real-time dashboard and also in AR. Yeah, so can I go to the next slide? Yeah, so this is the dashboard that we built for the conveyor manufacturer. So overall, there will be an overall system health and fault analysis in which you see a bit like traffic light stuff. So basically, blue means idle, which is not producing. Green means that the machine is running, and orange means that warning something is wrong with the system, and red means directly stop. This is the one of the, when you go to industry, you will be exposed to this kind of, they call it overall system health monitoring. And then we will have the gearbox lubricant oil level monitoring, sprocket health level monitoring, and also the chain elongation and potential breakage monitoring. Yeah, Mr. Ho, can I go to next slide? Okay, that's all. That's all for me. And then actually, I have a add-on with Miss, but never mind. I think the time is a bit, I took a little more time. Yeah, Mr. Cole, I pass back to you for the essential skills.
Okay, before I take over from Kelvin, I believe Kelvin has given a good, exciting story about his journey. And I think this is something that most of you can relate to. And since Kelvin is also very busy, he even he's based in Johor, he travel to Selangor quite frequent. He has many consultancy work he need to do recently. So we still have, I think, up to 6 minute time. Before I take over to talk or wrap up, is there anyone want to ask any question to Kelvin? Yeah, please feel free to ask. Yeah. He is someone like you, someone very close to you. I mean, whether today like you are not sure what is the career as an engineer, whether you have second opinion, you may ask Kelvin some advice.
So maybe Kelvin can leave his contact details.
Sure.
I'm just kidding, honestly.
Sure. Actually, last slide I will leave the my email on top of that. Yeah, actually I have one add-on. Basically, I think Javier. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think Javier, just now you did say you wanted to work for a small company due to the advice from your relatives. I think your justification is correct, because I have been working in small company and also big company. Big company, I'm referring to Micron in Singapore, which I'm working as a product engineer for NAND devices. So small company, it's best I don't state the name sorry, due to some due to some issue. But basically, so small company, because of the limited human resources, you need to be all-rounded. You need, for example, I'm building the robot, but I also need to tend to the support when the robot is deployed on field. when they have problems, I need to go to the support also. Then I need to deal with the customers also. So everything you need to learn, and it's in a very short time of period. So that's why they will say you get to learn a lot of stuff. But same counts, which is a lot of stress because you need to learn a
I
lot of
see.
things in it. But of course, if you are able to overcome the process, you're going to be a very pro guy in this particular field.
So I think you are the very pro guy now.
Yeah, but in Micron, basically, when I'm taking the position I only focus on NAND device. I cannot touch on SSD. I cannot touch on other devices. So that's why they say you are very focused on that particular thing. You only become the pro in that particular field. So there's but of course there's a big difference lah. I can give you the rough estimation during my time. I'm not sure the salary now is how, but during my time, the small company I work for is around 2.5 to 3K. But in Micron Singapore, if I convert my salary back to Malaysian ringgit, it's 13K. But of course,
Wow.
but because times 3. But of course, in Singapore, you still have living costs and all that. Still, will cut down times 3 also.
True.
But that is the difference between working for MNC and working for a small company. But a very interesting thing is in data analytical, because this field is very new. It's like 2 to 3 years time. So for my case, the NAND device have been developed for 30 years. All things, the pipeline is already solid. They don't need you to develop further more on top of that. That's why you only focus very focused lah. But in data analytics field, Micron also have their data science department, which I regret I didn't join it because one of my friends joined it. They learn a lot of stuff about data analytics because this field is very new. They learn how to set up from parental sensors up until the end, which is to get the values from the data itself. They do everything. So I can say, you want to learn a lot of things and getting a high pay salary, data science is during this time, I'm not sure about 10 years later, data science with SaaS also, SaaS skills is very valuable from what I can say. Yeah.
I see. Actually wanted to take an online course regarding data science. I think I am more motivated now. Thanks for your sharing.
Yeah, Kevin, someone asked you a question. How do you choose your FYP?
For my SYP, actually, for us, is we choose the lecturer. I'm not sure about other university. I heard some of them for USM is they will release the topics and then you will go choose yourself. But for my university, we choose our lecturer. Then we will discuss with our lecturer what we want to do. For my case, I choose my lecturer. Then I propose to him I want to continue my project, which I done in my 3rd year. And also I write a proposal for him lah. Then that's why he say okay. Then he support me and he can provide his advisory for me. Yeah, I hope I answer your question.
For ours is we choose from a list.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. But for now, recently they have. It's okay.
But are you able to propose your own topic?
I don't think, but I think PhD yes, but not for FYP. I have a friend that take his PhD and he proposed his topics. I think it's the lecturer give him a very general topics and he proposed a specific one.
I see.
Understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question for Kelvin? Don't be shy to ask.
But I think the thing he's working now is like very, I heard from some engineers, he said like his friends, he repairs a gearbox of a very big machine for a big company, right? And that project cost around 200K.
Yeah.
For that one project. And I see then I see your solution is like, wow, okay. So we don't need to spend that 200K on that particular thing. Yeah.
Maybe the 200K, maybe I think just my assumption, maybe 100K goes to the gearbox itself, the hardware itself. The hardware you still need to tend to it, but of course the 100K of the human cost, maybe you can try to reduce it since now you have a system that implemented on top of it. Yeah.
Exactly. So hope to see your product soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, if there's no further question for Kelvin, maybe I will just quickly wrap up with the next, I think, 2-3 slides. So, okay, the subsequent slide will be more like my advice for everyone, not just an engineering student. Today, we can see that, or I can say no doubt that data science or AI knowledge become more and more popular and important. So this is something that come up by HRDF. HRDF is a government agency from Malaysia. And they actually come up a so-called industrial skill framework, and this is something on data science. Why they decided to come up with this framework is they also acknowledge and agree that data science is becoming more and more important even for Malaysia. So whether today you are from engineering or from any field, you can be reskilled and ready to join any of these data profession. And a bit more detail on what is data professional. Basically, it consists of three types of jobs, from data engineer, data analyst, and data scientist. Data scientist will be someone that, to me, is a superman, whereby he is actually doing the same role like data engineer and data analyst. Yeah, so I'm not going to explain very detailed about this thing, but you can actually Google HRDF, and then you can see the detailed description about each of these job role. But to me, the opportunity is there. And then, like what Kelvin mentioned, or even later, I'm going to show you a bit more slide about how lucrative is the career as a data scientist. Okay, this one I think I will just skip, but basically this slide tell you a survey by McKinsey talking about the need of having data scientists by 2024. Although this data is from US, I think slowly Malaysia or even the neighboring country also need more and more data scientists. And this slide again, although it's from US, but it tells that the skill set for SaaS, whereby SaaS is something very high on demand in US. And as you can see here, although it's a bit small, I think the under blue color, something called most valuable career skill. So this thing actually come from a magazine called Money Magazine and a Pay Skill magazine. After they have done a survey for more than 54 million employee profile across 350 salary, they say that by having such skill, what you got is you actually get a bit more salary compared to your peer. So this is something that I want to share with you. Although this data come from US, but the other perspective that I want to share is a bit globalization or digital transformation. Something that you may not know. Today, although we are based in Kuala Lumpur, we have colleagues actually working for Vietnam customer. So student like you, don't limit yourself. Oh, after I graduate, I want to work in Kuching. Or okay lah, I may go to KL. Then that's it. Or I may go to Singapore. But to me, the global is there. Once you have certain skill, you can go anywhere you like. Don't limit to yourself. And especially like what you say, this skill set on data science or SaaS is something on demand. Yeah, so opportunity is there as long as you want where you go, you know where you want to go. So I think this one I will just skip. And then the last one, something useful I want to share with you since we have this session. From SaaS, we offer a lot of learning resources, and some are actually free for students. So you may want to take a screenshot now, but later I'm going to share my entire PowerPoint slide to Javier also. So these are the learning resources that we make available, whether it's for student or individual learner, and most of these are free. So if you are able to spend some time and go through this e-learning, you can gain some knowledge in data science, AI, and machine learning. And if you can see this little green circle there, and also the blue color, this thing here, all this is something that we are going to offer you if you manage to complete a course. The blue one will be a certification. Certification means you have to complete the training and then take the exam. But today, as a start, you may just go in and then to try to complete one course. And the machine learning thing that Kevin is applying is something available here also. So you may want to take a look to see whether this is something that you want to learn. Okay, this is my last slide, although we overrun by about 5 minutes. So today we talk a lot about hard skill required for IR 4.0. And as you can see, although this slide is not really related about IR 4.0 or engineering student, this is something that I pick up from LinkedIn, and I hope you guys know what is LinkedIn. They actually come out the most popular on-demand skill for 2020. So you can see hard skill and also soft skill. So a lot of hard skill that I put the remark here are something related to what we just discussed around the skill set required on IR 4.0, around what are the knowledge, or what are the things that Kelvin are doing. So these are the very popular or top 10 hard skill that LinkedIn talk about. Why LinkedIn talk about? Because LinkedIn are also considered a platform for people to hire people. So they know that this is the hard skill very on demand nowadays, whether it's Malaysia or globally. But regardless, I also want to highlight, although I mean you guys are engineering students, beyond the hard skill, these are 5 very important soft skills for you to pursue your journey. Whether you want to work in a big company, small company, pursue your postgraduate study, or to be a boss or have your own startup or company. So these are the skill set very important. Like what I mentioned about Kelvin earlier, like this second one, persuasion. Persuasion is very important also. You may talk to this lecturer once to accept your project, but he may not be agree. So, but if you feel that this is something that very good, very exciting, you should continue to persuade, whether it's a lecturer or future customer or future employer about an idea. So the rest is something that I think you can spend your time and look into this. But I hope whether you are in year 2, year 3, you should at least get yourself ready about all these skill set, both for hard and also soft. So I think this is the last slide that we want to present, although we overrun by, I think, 7 minutes now. So I'm going to leave our contact here. This is my email address, and then Kelvin one will be from InsideX. This is his email address and also FB page. If you want to know a bit more about SaaS or InsideX, feel free to contact. But most probably we will share the slide for the student here.
Yeah, and for those of you who want the slide, do contact me because there are too many of participants. I don't think I can add all of you into a WhatsApp group for it. So do email me. I'll share the PowerPoint with you.
Sure. One thing to add on, sorry, a bit of advertisement. So basically, we InsideX, we are a startup lah, still very early stage. We are working on providing this kind of solutions to the industry itself, especially manufacturing industry, in collaboration with Crest and also SaaS. So if you guys, any of you are interested in doing machine learning and AR and also data analytics, yeah, feel free to drop us an email so that maybe we can work together in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so even overseas, right? Because we are from Sarawak here.
Yeah, overseas. Yes. You guys are
okay.
Overseas.
Yeah, overseas.
Over the sea, yeah, South China Sea.
Exactly.
Any other question before we end this session, whether it's to Kelvin or to me? Yeah.
I'm actually interested on the, the data science course offered by SSSS, which I did not expect there is a free one. I thought I have to pay for one. Wow.
Yeah.
And also to add on, just now I said that we cannot propose, but actually we can. I just got the information from my senior.
Good.
Oh.
Yeah, we can propose. Yeah,
that's
but
great.
I didn't know. So anyone have question? You can open your mic and ask. Oh yeah, one of them asked, so can internship at SaaS? Yeah, I'm interested in this question as well.
Good news. Okay, since I think last year or early or late last year, due to COVID-19, we actually stopped our internship for quite some time. And then next month, we are going to open our internship program, and most probably it will be 100% virtual. Virtual here means probably the intern will work from home lah. So people like you who are from overseas, you don't have to travel to Kuala Lumpur. But
yeah,
please,
I got a chance.
Yeah, so you can send your CV to us, to me. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'll send mine to you as a sub. Besides CV, what else?
I think Kelvin would know a bit more about people from SaaS. Beyond the hard skill, I think the ability to communicate is also important. And whether this is for internship or for future employment, Probably from the paper, from your degree, we know that you have certain hard skill. But when it comes to the interview, you have to show that you have the knowledge, and how you can show that by communicate. And of course, beyond your communication, you also need to show your interest, why you want to join this particular company. Yeah, all these things. I have seen a CGPA for a student. Maybe they are very good in mathematics or statistics, but when it comes to the interview, they can't speak, they cannot open their mouth, although they are 4-pointer. So when it comes to people like them, we can't really think whether this is something that's suitable for us. Yeah, so more importantly, yeah, whether it's for internship or for future employment, I think communication is important.
Yeah, and also be confident to sell yourself lah. We know, let them know how strong you are. Yeah, they won't know unless you tell them how strong you are. I think one thing Jerry want to ask is whether do you need SAS certification in order to join the internship? Is that what you want to ask actually?
Just now, no, I just no, I mean other than resume, do I need to send any other letter, or I just send my resume and I can apply for it already?
Yeah.
Just send my resume. Okay, sure.
Okay, someone asked whether engineering student is okay. Yeah. For the past, our intern come from various field, even business, even architectures. We also take. As long as you prove that you are keen into this analytic and you want to learn. Yeah, I mean, we can consider student from engineering, but you have to show that you want to learn. Yeah.
How about internship at Inside X?
Inside X now we are more towards on working together now, because we don't have a very solid, not like SaaS big company, we don't have a very solid internship program, but we are looking for students that can work along together with us. Remote working is not a problem because actually we have 2 of us at KL, and then 1 of us at Penang, and 2 of us at Johor here. So basically, we are doing work remotely also, because all our doing is IoT related. Basically, we just need to set up one kind of device, then we just remove in the computer, then we can do everything already. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good about computer. But what if those that don't have any basics in this field, can we join?
Sure, we can explore together. For me, myself, I'm not very, I need to say I'm not very intelligent, as Mr. Cole say lah. I'm not very intelligent. Everything I go bang the wall myself, I go learn together. And I think the most important thing lah for us in this field is the willingness to learn. Not trying to, because I did encounter some of potential recruits that they are quite reluctant. They say, I only want to do image processing. I don't want to do rows and columns. That is very down for us. But in our case, we have customer from that one rows and columns, not just image processing. So yeah, we need to learn together lah. Yeah, of course we will try to allocate something that is close to your interest as possible lah. But yeah, but it's best the passion and the willingness to this. For us, we are looking into that.
True.
Kelvin, there are many questions.
Yeah, we have some questions. For the next one is, what is the role of civil engineers in Industrial Revolution 4.0?
Kelvin, you want to help on this question? I'm trying to think some example.
So civil engineers that I know, okay, I'm not an expert in this lah. This is because I have a friend in civil engineering lah. So basically, there is one project from China at Johor here. It's called Piguiyuan lah. I'm not sure whether you guys know. Forest City. So basically, when he's working there, he also will need to know a bit about the IoT stuff, because from what I know, civil engineering, the infrastructures, the sensor parameters are temperature, humidity, all that. Maybe you will need to take into account into monitoring. So for his side, when he go to that field, he also need to learn all these things. Like Mr. Kor said, the IR 4.0 is a society challenge. It's towards the society itself, not limited to just us mechatronic or IT engineers.
Basically, everyone in the society.
Yeah. Maybe I add a bit more when it comes to civil engineering. It may not be again specific on civil engineering. So I think in Sarawak your utility company is by Sarawak Energy, and here for Malaysia or so-called West Malaysia, we are under Tenaga Nasional. So even now, they are talking about smart metering. Smart metering. I don't know. Smart metering. Okay. Basically, whether it's from the utility company or whether from the user, when you consume your power or electricity, you are able to visualize your usage. Let's say for your aircon, whether it's for your TV or computer, you can actually visualize your power consumption, and from there you can decide how you can save some energy. So moving forward, these are the new things that people are trying to do. Even I take the other use case that our partner is trying to do for universities like Swinburne. Okay, you know Swinburne is considered to me is considered quite a big building. So when it comes to big building, the aircon there, the light there, most of the time are always on. So now people want to try to save some energy, whether you call it to save some carbon footprint, all those things, or people now talk about greenhouse. When it comes to new building, they want to look into all these aspects. So one way to do this is like what Kelvin is doing now. The first thing is you know your objective, what you want to do, what you want to save. Let's say you want to save the power consumption, then you may want to like install some sensor to collect the room temperature, to collect whether there's anyone physically in the room in order for you to decide whether you want to turn on the light, all those things. So as a civil engineer or when come to this aspect, these are the new thing that maybe civil engineers should start to think of. Whether you still want to build or design the house like 10 years ago, or whether you want to make your house on building or property more intelligent, like what we see in the video, that kind of thing. So these are the new aspects. But from what I mentioned to you, these are the things that people are trying to do now. Although sensors are not, embedded into the building now, but people are trying to add sensor into the building now so that we can move into this world of intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah. So IR 4.0 is actually happening already.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's not. It's everywhere. Not for just engineering.
And also we have for the. Did I answer your question, Eric? It's okay. I think let's proceed with the next one. What kind of student are you finding for FYP? Yeah, interesting for possible FYP.
This is for SAS or for me? Yeah,
I'm not sure, but
I know this is for me.
Just talk about both of you lah.
What kind of student are you finding?
He said inside X.
Oh, okay. For my side, actually, FYP for sure, yes. We can find what kind of projects that either you can propose to us, what kind of case study you want to do that's related to data, machine learning and all this, or you can also check with us what projects we have. We have few projects here that we can suggested for your FYP also. Yeah, we can go both way lah. Just need to discuss. Yeah, just need to discuss. Sure, we are interested in FYP also.
Okay, that's a great one. And for the next one is, so based on smart meters, as a person more interested in energy sector, and it is more inclined, it means like more inclined on renewable energy. Can I survive in IR 4.0?
I'm not sure whether this is a question. I can survive in IR 4.0. Okay, so this guy called Millennium Wong. You are saying that you're keen in energy sector. I'm not sure how can I answer you whether you can survive in IR 4.0. But as I said, right now the energy sector may not be ready or doing something like what I mentioned just now. But I believe they are preparing themselves, moving into this intelligent type of energy sector. So like what we mentioned or discussed earlier, although you may not learn like what Kevin is doing, machine learning or data analytics, if you're keen moving into this sector, whether it's energy or specifically on renewable energy, you may learn some hardcore knowledge from your study, let's say from electrical engineering, but it is good that you may want to try to learn a bit of those things that Kelvin are doing now. So when let's say Sarawak Energy or today Tenaga Nasional, they are into smart metering whereby they collect all data, then you have your value to contribute to them. And I believe people who have both knowledge from, let's say, the power and also analytic, these are the people that they want. Trust me. Yeah. So for now, just make sure you equip yourself.
Yeah, Mr. Koh, can I share a bit also? So,
Sure.
so for the power meter, if I'm not mistaken, last year, 2020, the IMDC challenge, I come across on SAS track, there is one project with Sarawak Energy Management that one of the students do the power meter monitoring for the Sarawak projects with the real industry problem also. If I'm not mistaken, they accept the data from it. So basically, but more inclined on renewable energy. Renewable energy, I'm not so sure, but for the electrical power plant, they actually need this kind of devices also to monitor. And let's say there is a surge, you must be able to detect it and find out what is the root cause for the surge so that they can prevent it. And also, let's say when you observe the data pattern, there will be a lot of surge before a certain breakdown happens. You have the historical data set. Then now you can train the machine learning or in order to detect this before it happens. If you can achieve that, there will be a great value to the power plant industry. This is what I heard from the IMDC challenge also. And then I also dropped a link. It's actually a already product in the market. It's called Sense. So basically, it's actually installed for home. It's about power meter also. So basically, this will be installed in your power box inside your home, and from there they can actually tell you there's an online dashboard web app that you can monitor how much power is being utilized for your home. Then you can trace it whether Tenaga got charge you extra or cheat you or something like that. Yeah, and then what is then they can actually do machine learning to identify what is the electrical things is being used also. That is the magical part of data science. So let's say you leave your iron on top of that, you forget to close the power. They can actually alert you, telling you that, hey, your iron is not closed. Please, be cautious of top of it and close it immediately. It's a real-time devices. So yeah, maybe you can explore a bit on this video also. We also got projects involving this kind of electrical stuff for the factory, but due to the our current team size is a bit small, we only know, but we're still looking into that. We don't have manpower to attend to it, but there is a need in the industry for this. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Seems like industry revolution is really already everywhere, and we don't have to worry about don't have to worry like our job is not affected by it. All of us is affected, so we won't be outdated unless we don't want to, keep learning.
Yeah. Trust me. Again, although this IR4 project is coming, you may see a lot of robot or even autonomous car. Human is still the one that behind all this robot. All this robot will not replace human, so don't worry about all this robot or automation. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I think we have to conclude the session today.
Yeah.
Although we overrun by 40 minutes.
Quite a lot of time already. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, I want to again thank the organizing committee for inviting me and Kelvin to share our knowledge about this topic, and hope everyone gains some knowledge after this session. And yeah, hope one day we can somehow meet each other again.
Yeah, I would like to thank Mr. Koh and Mr. Kelvin for their time and effort to do this talk. And actually, quite insightful for this talk. I have my perspective on IR 4.0 has actually changed. I was thinking it's something not yet happening, but it's okay, it's actually everywhere now, not in future, now.
Yeah, it's now.
Yeah. And just that we still lack data scientists that can actually make it more powerful, is it? I would say
data scientist is quite a demanding area right now in this decade, I think.
Okay. So if you want to enhance your skill in data science or know more about data science, why not contact us and Insight X, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
You can also learn yourself at Coursera. Everywhere is now selling data science because it's quite a hot topic currently, I can say. Yeah.
Even I saw something like articles like a person describing how he's let's say mechanical engineer and how he
Yes.
changed to analytics. There's
Yes.
a lot of already.
Yes, that is a very famous case study. I think I saw the same thing as you. So it's like
okay.
you can self-learn the data science by yourself. It's not that hard, not that complicated. Just need to learn and apply it. Then you will be able to go into this field. That's what I think.
Something like a hands-on things, right?
Yes.
Okay, so anyone still have question?
Okay, I think I need to end this call now. Okay, with this, I thank everyone and goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All the best in the future. Bye.
Yeah, for you too and for Mr. Call. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.